Hello, guys. Welcome back. So we had another Bible study class on Wednesday, and um, so what did we talk about this Wednesday? Well, um, we talked about I pulled up a video on YouTube, and I'm going to put that same video down below from this video on like the description area. Uh, and the video was about a story of a dog sitting on a nail. So why did I bring that up? Or why did I decide to show a video about a story of a dog sitting on a nail? Because I wanted to answer the questions that that the girls had asked me the last week when I was sharing my story of, everything bad that had happened in my life, and I didn't even finish because a lot of bad stuff happened in my life. So it was, I didn't have a lot of time to finish telling everyone like everything, but enough for them to know whoa, a lot of stuff happened to you. And I went into detail, a little bit more into detail when I was talking about my ex-husband, who I was with for 4 years. And so one of the questions that one of the girls had asked me about was him, and asking so after saying all the bad things he did to me and how horrible he treated me, and that he made me feel like garbage, like a slave, made me feel like, just bad. He was very abusive, very, very abusive, emotionally, verbally, mentally. And yeah, so after giving examples of the kind of bad things that he had done to me and how miserable I was, one of the girls asked, so why did you stay with him if you were so miserable? And you saw all of the red flags that were while you were getting to know him, there were all these red flags, and you still decided to continue being with him. And so she asked me why. And at the time when she asked me, not this Wednesday but last Wednesday, when she asked me, I was just I was slow. I was really, really slow. I was really stupid, for putting up with him and staying in such a bad, toxic relationship. But after reflecting about it more, I realized, you know what? I'm gonna answer her question better, more like the real answer. And that's why this Wednesday, I brought up that video about the dog sitting on the nail. So you guys can watch the video if you want. It's 3 minutes. It's not long. Or you can just hear me say a summary about it. So the summary of this story, and this is going to answer that girl's question of why did I stay with such a toxic, bad man. Excuse me. So the story is about this dog who is sitting on a porch with his owner, and there's a little boy. One day a little boy walks by with his dad, and he notices this dog because the dog was moaning and groaning, making noises like if he was very uncomfortable or in pain or something. So, that makes the little boy notice, and so he stops and he asks the owner of the dog, who was sitting right next to him, they were sitting next to each other. The owner was on a little chair, and the dog was sitting on the floor right next to him. So the little boy asks him, hey sir, why is your dog making those noises? What's wrong with him? And so the owner tells him, oh, he's just sitting on a nail, that's it. It's not a big deal. And the little boy is even more confused, because he's like, why is he sitting on the nail? why don't you do anything about it, you know? Or he asks his dad, like, Dad, why is the guy letting his dog sit on a nail? Like, why doesn't the dog, like, get up and move to another spot that's more comfortable, you know, where there is no nails? And the owner hears the little boy and tells him, oh, that's easy. He's not getting up because it's not um he's not feeling enough pain to move. Like, he just feels like uncomfortable, you know. Of course you could see it, he's making these noises that he's clearly uncomfortable, and he is feeling some level of pain, but it's not enough. It's not enough, like, it's not excruciating, like, it hurts so much for him to, like, you know, jump off and move somewhere else. It's not that painful, but there is some pain and discomfort. And so that's what he tells the little boy. And that's pretty much it. That's the story. So the girls were like, so you're a dog? They were like, what? Yeah, so yeah, basically, how does that relate to the, like, answering the question that the girl had of, like, why did I stay in such a horrible relationship with my ex-husband? Why? The problem is, and I thought this was very relevant, you know, this little story was relevant to share with the girls, because I know I'm not the only crazy one here. All the rest of y'all have also, like, so the problem is that when we grow up in messy, dysfunctional, broken, messy families, the problem is that we grow up learning that, like, whatever that looks like, which is not healthy, like, just bad stuff, whatever we grow up in. And so we just come to believe that that's just how life is, that's just, you know, how it sucks, like, to not feel loved, to not feel valued, to, you know, whatever, like, our family situations look like that are not healthy, they're bad, and broken. But that's what we grow up in, and that's what we believe, like, okay, we start to believe, like, this is what love is. Like, my mom tells me, you know, for my example, I didn't grow up with a dad, so no dad in my life. And my mom, as I've mentioned to you guys, she was really mean, really strict, and so everything that would come out of her mouth to me as a child was, you're good for nothing. Like, you're just, like, you don't know how to cook, you don't know how to do anything, you're lazy, you're this, you're that. Everything that she told me was all negative stuff, all bad stuff. And that's the only times that I would get attention from her, like, whenever I was doing something bad and disappointing, and, like, some type of failure of whatever, like, if I burned some food or something, she was like, see, that's why you don't know how to cook. Like, she would reaffirm whatever things she would tell me. And, like, with the lazy stuff, she would be like, see, you don't clean your room, you're lazy, and blah 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 blah. And whenever I would do something good, like, you know, sweep the floor or something, she wouldn't take notice. She never took notice, and she wouldn't mention that, like, oh, good job, like, thanks for doing that. No, forget about that. She didn't do anything like that. So what happens is, our pain tolerance, like, for these nails in our life, of, like, you know, being treated bad, of being called names, of, you know, being disrespected, of not being loved, and all of these things, these are all nails that we start to, I guess, get used to from our families, from the people that raise us. So that level of tolerance, pain tolerance, that we should have, like, that hurts. I mean, it does hurt, but we just, you know, when we go on to have relationships with boyfriends, with girlfriends, and if they start treating us in these ways that our families did and with the people that we grew up with, and they start kind of treating us the same way, then we just think like, oh, okay, then yeah, I guess this is what love is. Love is just painful. Like this is what it is. So like in my specific case, my ex-husband was the same as my mom, literally. Like, and if anything, I kind of thought that he was a little better. Like if you could believe that after listening to everything that he did, like I thought that maybe, or what I mean, if you could believe that from all the things that I've already said about him in my other videos, if you go back and watch them, one of the reasons why I thought he was maybe better is because he didn't scream. Like, he was a quiet spoken guy. Like, he never raised his voice at me. And that's something with my mom that she did. Like, she always screamed her head off, was always like screaming, crazy woman. So all of the bad stuff she would say, it would be all in screaming, yelling, horrible, hateful form, like just angry woman. And so with my ex-husband, yeah, he did all those, he did like say bad things to me, but it was like that, the way I'm talking right now, like in a normal voice, not screaming. So I was like, okay, well, yeah, there's all these bad things about him, but, you know, at least he doesn't scream at me. At least he doesn't scream at me. So the problem is that, like, not only does our pain tolerance go high, like, that we could endure a lot of pain because we've already grown up with that. So when other people do it to us, our pain tolerance is high, so we're just like, we just allow it or accept it because we just think that's normal, and it's just the way life works. It's the way it is, and that's just, you just gotta deal with it. So that goes up, and you know what goes down? Our standards. Our pain tolerance goes up and our standards go down. Like standards, we should have high standards of how people should treat us. We shouldn't allow people to treat us like crap, like garbage, and all these things. But because we grow up in bad, broken, messy families, dysfunctional families, of whatever, like it looks different for all of us. We could have grown up with like drug addict parents that, you know, didn't take care of us or things like that, whatever. Like, you know, there's all sorts of ways that we've all grown up, and just really just messy family situations. And so our standards that should be up are not, because of the way we grew up. So our standards are low. And so when other people come into our lives, let's say friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, and you know, and they start treating us in disrespectful and bad ways, we kind of let them stick around. We don't kick them out of our lives, or we don't block them or things like that. We just allow them to continue being in relationship with us, because our standards are low, and we're like, yeah, this is life, and you just gotta make the best out of it and make do with what you got. And yeah, so that's my reason. That's why I stayed with him, with my ex-husband, was for that reason, because he pretty much acted like my mom in so many ways. Like, it's just crazy, right? Like, I moved out of my mom's house thinking I had escaped all of her craziness, like the hell house that I lived in, the hell hole that I lived in, only to marry basically her. Oh my gosh, that's scary to say, but that's pretty much what happened. It's like I married her, but obviously, like, someone that looked like a man, but it was her. Like on the inside, it was like her. And yeah, so that's pretty much what we talked about this Wednesday is nails, like nails that we have. So I ended by, just asking like what kind of nails do you guys have, and I do want to bring a worksheet this coming Wednesday where they could actually write it down if in their papers, little nails. So but yeah, that's a question for you guys to think about, like what kind of nails are in your guys' lives. What kind of nails are you guys settling with? There's a bunch, there's all sorts. Yeah, where what is it basically? Like a nail is like something that you're willing to, or something that it's in your life that's painful and that's uncomfortable, that makes you feel sad, bad, miserable, something like that. But and it's still in your life. Like that nail is still stuck in you. Like it's still in your life. So like in my case, and the girls mentioned a few examples. Like one of the girls said, her like two brothers were like nails to her, big nails. She said, because they're like disappointments. They're disappointing failures. That's what she said. And then another girl said, oh, being here in the juvenile detention center, that's, of course, that's a nail. Who wants to be there? No one wants to be there. And then in my case, my ex-husband was a huge nail that was very painful. But like I said in the short little video, or like a summary of the little video, yeah, it was painful, but not enough for me to get up, to get out, not enough for me to cancel him out. Why? Because that's how I grew up, and that's what I thought love was. That this is just normal, and you just gotta roll with the punches, like just deal with it. And yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Of course, this is to serve more like as like to help you reflect, like an eye-opener of, besides the face mask activity that I had you guys do, this is another one, another thing or activity or thing to help you reflect on everything that's not right in your life. But I, of course, don't want this is not all going to end in like there's just no hope. It's like hopeless. No, as we continue in the classes, I'm gonna show you guys there is hope. There is definitely hope. This is not how life has to be. It doesn't have to be this way. There is Jesus. This is a Bible study class that I'm teaching, so I mean I wouldn't be there if I was still like living that kind of horrible, messy lifestyle that I was living in, which I haven't even told you my whole story, but what I've told you, you can see I had a really bad, messy, sucky life. But I wouldn't be in the juvenile detention center teaching Bible study if there was no hope, if there was nothing to live for, and just forget it, just give up and just go kill yourself or something. Like no, there is hope. And yeah, so I will be actually talking about that. That's what I'm planning to talk about this coming week on Wednesday, about that hope. So stay tuned, guys, stay tuned for the next video. All right, bye guys, have a good weekend. Love you. Bye.